relationships within that one nature? Yes, right? It could be a liquid, it could be ice, or it could be steam. Same being, same substance, different relationship. The sun has substance. You have light and heat. However, it's still one sun. So some beings can have more than one relationship as part of their nature. So when we talk about the Trinity, we're talking about relationships. So we say that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, they're all God, but the Father is not the Son, the Father is not the Holy Spirit is not the Son, so forth. So they are distinct. We don't use the word separate. They are distinct, but they are one. And there's different models. Here's another example. This is what one is in Latin, right? Pater is Father, Filius is Son, and Spiritus Sanctus is Holy Spirit, right? Est means is, non-est means is not. Here's another view you might see. The Father glorifies the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit glorifies the Son. The Father glorifies the Son, but the Father is not the Holy Spirit. They are God, but the Holy Spirit is in the Father. The Father is in the Holy Spirit. The Son is in the Father. The Father is in the Son. So the unity and relationship within the Trinity is amazing. Amazing. I would be remiss if I didn't mention a controversy that exists between the Catholic Church and our Eastern Orthodox brothers and sisters. It's referred to as the Filioque controversy. If you note, in our creed it says the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son. So we're part of the Latin Church, the Eastern Rite. You have the Father and you have the Son. The Son proceeds from the Father, and the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Son and from the Father. So you see the arrow pointing from the Son and the Father. Whereas in the Eastern Church, they say the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father alone. And it was actually the cause for separation. Then there was reunification, and then separation again. But we have, I think it's around 22 different Eastern Rite Catholics that are in full communion with the Catholic Church. And they're okay with the Latin version of the Holy Spirit proceeding from the Father and the Son. And I will send you some additional material if you'd like to dig into this a little bit more. It's a very nuanced theological perspective. Probably, 70% of Christians don't even think about this too much one way or another. It's not like, conversations around the dinner table, the filioque, right? But it's something to be aware of. Now, I want to talk about being, nature, and persons. So God is a being, and he has a divine nature and has three persons. Gabriel is one of the angels, right? Angelic nature, one person. Somebody named John Doe, right? Human, one person. A poodle has a dog nature, not a person. A red oak is a tree, not a person. A June bug is a beetle, right? Not a person. Granite, piece of rock, not a person. Now, what happens if a human has more than one personality? It's a disorder, right? We have multiple personality disorder, right? It's not of the nature of a human to have more than one person. So it's a disorder for us to have more than one person for our nature. But for God, it's not a disorder. It's just the way God is. I don't want time to get away from us. I will send you some material, and it would take us too long to go through it. But I mean, there's all kinds of qualities about God. I'll just mention a few. Simplicity, unity, goodness, perfection, infinity, immutability, eternity, mutual indwelling, all kinds of characteristics or features of God that we don't have. So I'd like to spend a little bit of time with, this is Bishop Barron, is going to talk a little bit more about Trinity, and he comes at it from an interesting point of view that I think will be helpful.
Well, as I record these words, it's right before Trinity Sunday. And Trinity Sunday is known in Christian circles as the preacher's nightmare, because what do you say about the Trinity? But I've always resisted that. I think, as I used to tell my students, every Sunday is Trinity Sunday. The Trinity names what is most fundamental in our understanding of God and our understanding of salvation. So I think we shouldn't run away from it. We should enter into the mystery of the Trinity. And here's one way I would suggest. Look around the world at every level, and you're going to find something like communication, or to state the same thing a little bit differently, image making. Things tend to make images of themselves or communicate themselves. So think of something as basic as a rock or an inanimate object. Think of a rock lying there, and then the rain comes and softens the ground, and the rock will make an image of itself in the ground. Imperfect and all that, sure, but nevertheless, the rock, as it were, communicates itself. Think of a little pebble you pick up and you throw it through a piece of glass, and it makes a kind of crude image of itself in the glass. Now, go a little bit higher on the chain of being. Come to things like plants. Plants can make an image of themselves in a much higher, more refined way. So a plant can drop a seed, and the seed grows up into a remarkable reproduction of the original plant, right? Go higher. Go to the realm of animals. Animals, think of a mother, and the embryo forming in the womb of the animal, and then giving rise to a remarkably accurate reproduction of the parents. It's an image-making capacity at a higher level. Now come to human beings. We can reproduce ourselves at those lower levels, but then we can do so much more. Think of all the forms of communication, of speech and broadcast, what I'm doing right now, whereby we make an image of our minds and we project them outward. We communicate to people around us. Now, if you're not satisfied with that, go all the way down to the fundamental structures of reality. Go down to, or just think of cells within a living organism, how much communication, interaction there is among cells. Go down even further. Go to the atomic and subatomic level. Think of protons and electrons and so on relating within the structure of the atom. Go down again even to that subatomic level. And the scientists talk about this spooky action at a distance. They mean when certain subatomic particles have come into contact, that even later when they're at a huge distance from one another, there's still this quantum entanglement whereby there's a kind of influence or communication across huge amounts of space and time. Still not satisfied? Go to the biggest, the most macroscopic level of things. Go to planets and galaxies and so on. do you find extraordinary